The Cardiff School of Creative and Cultural Industries presents The Casebook of Violet Strange by Diane Lake.
On ball, platform 2.
I'll never forget the first time I saw her. It was a lovely summer's day in 1919 at Paddington. The station was crowded with soldiers returning from the Great War, myself among them. I left my train, searching the crowds for my parents' faces, when across a platform the train approached. I noticed a young boy running, weaving in and out of the crowds, when suddenly the boisterous crowds pushed him onto the track, directly in the path of the oncoming locomotive.
Lord.
And as those of us who witnessed this shocking event froze in horror, this stunning young woman dressed in lavender lace picked up her skirts and jumped onto the track. Within moments, she lifted the young boy onto the platform. I had sprinted to her aid and reached down for her. She escaped the oncoming train by seconds.
Is he all right?
Sorry?
Oh, there he is. Oh, God.
And we both smiled as the young chap was being soundly lectured by his parents. I then looked back at her. What sort of woman was this? She cared not a whit for her own safety. Danger seemed not to faze her. I say, are you quite all right?
Pardon?
Well, that is to say...
Do you need to sit down? You look rather shaken.
You're American.
Violet Strange.
And she reached out her hand to shake mine, just like that. I froze momentarily before responding by grasping her gloved hand in my own. Hilary Smythe, at your service.
You still look a bit off-centre, as it were, Mr. Smythe. Perhaps you need some tea. I'd. Oh, don't look so disapproving. I'd match my shooting against any man's. More tea?
I remember thinking that I'd just met the most extraordinary woman. And before our tea was finished, I'd offered her a job in my father's firm, Smythe Investigations, inquiries for the discerning gentleman. And my father, being so glad to see me back from the war, indulged me in what he called this folly. But it was a folly, even he would come to agree, paid off famously from the very first case.
Good afternoon. I'm Sir Rupert Driscoll. I have an appointment with Mr. Smythe the Younger.
How do you do? I'm Violet Strange. Please, come in, sit down.
Very well.
We've been expecting you.
We? My good young woman, my situation is of a most delicate nature.
Theft. So Mr. Smythe informed me. And there are those who would accuse your daughter, a young woman about my age. Who better to get to the bottom of this problem than someone who can infiltrate her circle and gain their confidence?
Hilary, there you are.
What is this nonsense? Women in the workplace.
He assumed she was the office secretary, which in his mind was bad enough. Of course, she was much more. I placated him with a cup of tea, sat him down with Miss Strange and myself, and tried to make him understand. Think about it, Sir Rupert. Your problem involves your daughter Alicia and her two friends, Miss Caroline West and Miss Jane Benedict. They call themselves the Inseparables, I believe you said. Well, who better to befriend them than Violet Strange, who, as daughter of the new head of the Bank of England, is already beginning to take her place in London society?
But she's American.
Yes, but only by birth. Her father is English through and through. His American wife passed on recently, you see, and he and Miss Strange moved to London.
I'm very sorry for your loss, Miss Strange, but surely...
Surely, Sir Rupert, you can see the wisdom of sending a contemporary of your daughters out on this assignment. I'm told you were a colonel in the war. Would you send a colonel to quietly befriend a mere corporal in order to solicit information? I think not. You would find a trusted corporal.
But a woman? Hilary, is your father aware of this?
Sir Rupert, do you imagine my father would allow us to proceed otherwise? Now, Miss Strange will befriend your daughter and her friends and find out who the real culprit is in these thefts. We feel this is the best chance we have of getting to the truth and clearing your daughter's good name.
Sir Rupert, do you normally greet arriving house guests?
Of course not. I merely wanted a chance to reiterate that Alicia must never know I've hired your firm. Indeed,
I
no one...
am the daughter of your old school friend, just returned to England. And since I am indeed Mr. Strange's daughter, unless you tell someone you're unacquainted with my father, then...
Yes. Do come into the morning room. Look, there, on the terrace. It's Captain Halliday. He's holding Caroline's hand.
Indeed. Oh, shh. Don't let them see us.
Oh, Captain Halliday.
I say, Miss West.
Oh, do forgive me for being so forward.
Yes, well...
And call me Caroline.
Oh, I'm not sure, Miss West.
Now, why did you pull me out of the room? I don't see that their young foolishness should stop me from using my own morning room.
You would prefer they see us talking intimately.
Father?
Oh, my angel. I was just coming to find you. Miss Violet Strange, my daughter, Miss Alicia Driscoll.
Miss Driscoll, it is a pleasure.
It is I, Miss Strange, who is most pleased to have you join us this weekend. When Father told me he'd invited an American, I can't tell you how intrigued I was.
You enjoy Americans?
Rather, but Father rarely invites them.
Well, as Miss Strange's father is
yes,
English...
Daddy. Now, Miss Strange, you must tell me and my friends all about New York fashion.
Please, may we not use our given names?
Alicia.
Violet.
I just know we're going to be fast friends. Come, let me show you to your room, then we'll find Jane and Caroline. Jane is resting, but I don't know where Caroline has got to.
That was a delicious dinner, Sir Rupert. Venison is a particular favourite of mine.
Yes, a most hearty fare.
Oh, yes, I thought it was quite marvellous.
Really? As I recall, you refrained from eating venison last week. What was it you said?
She said anyone who can eat a delicate little deer was a cruel
Oh,
and...
Jane, I was being humorous, of course.
Really?
Dear Jane.
Captain Halliday, shall we leave the ladies to their discussions and retire to the study?
I have a new cigar for you to try, sir.
Ah, capital. Ladies?
Don't be too long, Father.
I say, the two of you. I rather wish you hadn't called me out about the venison. Captain Halliday might think I don't approve of hunting.
But you don't, do you?
Of course not, Jane. She despises hunting. But she doesn't wish to offend our gallant captain.
Yes, that's exactly right.
He is rather dashing, isn't he?
Indeed.
Is he? I hadn't noticed.
And chivalrous, or so I'm told.
You've heard tell of him?
Why, yes. In fact, I'm told it was he who defended the inseparables, I believe the three of you go by, when someone attempted to besmirch your honour.
He knows.
And that's what I didn't understand. There I was with Lord Albemarle's daughter, and she... Well, I just didn't see why the three of you need your honour defended. Then Lady Albemarle herself changed the subject. But three such perfect models of feminine character such as yourselves...
Well, it's really ridiculous. Someone is taking things and blaming it on the inseparables. Sheer jealousy, I believe.
Taking things?
Yes. First there was a lace handkerchief of Jane's aunt that went missing at the opera.
Jane and I were both in their family box. Caroline was there, but in an adjacent box, so she seems under less suspicion for that incident.
You mean there's another?
2 others.
I'm afraid so. A one-of-a-kind medallion went missing during a reception at the Duke of Northumberland's country home.
Just after the Duchess had taken it off and let the 3 of us examine it.
And then the incident at the jewellery store.
The 3 of us went shopping at Tiffany's, where I bought a ruby ring for my cousin. As we were leaving, the salesman tells me he's missing an emerald ring from the tray that we examined. He accused us. Oh, he was most polite, but...
How awful for you. What happened?
Alicia paid for the second ring, rather than have a scandal erupt.
It all is so ridiculous.
But very serious as well.
Yes, of course. But you see, it's also quite odd.
Odd?
Rather. Because all of the items were returned.
Returned? How extraordinary. By whom?
The thief, I expect.
My aunt's handkerchief was returned, along with a box of chocolates.
The purloined Tiffany ring came delivered with a bouquet of flowers.
And the Duchess received her medallion back from a child on the street. She looked round and saw...
She saw my father across the street. So she naturally assumed he was covering for me.
Or one of us.
But it is I who the rumours have been circulating about.
Oh, it's all too ridiculous for words. What a pretty pendant that is, Violet. It's a sapphire, isn't it?
Yes, it's a family heirloom. It once belonged to Marie Antoinette.
Well, ladies, I trust our absence didn't hamper your conversation.
Were you gone?
Touché, Miss Strange.
We were just admiring Miss Strange's necklace. A true treasure, having once belonged to Marie Antoinette.
Why, it's almost as lovely as the wearer.
You're too kind, Captain.
Shall we retire to the garden, Father? It's such a pleasant evening.
Capital idea. Capital.
Psst, there you are.
You look quite the innocent schoolgirl, I must say.
An innocent among the innocents. Well, except for one.
Have you determined who among them is not quite so innocent?
Oh, yes. Quiet. Look who's there.
But Alicia, you know how I feel.
Yes, and you know I feel the same, but I cannot leave my father, I cannot.
Do you believe he would wish you to sacrifice your happiness for his?
I've been so alone since Mother died. If I left, I just don't know what would become of him.
And me? What shall become of me if I cannot have you?
You will find another.
I will, you know. I swear I will.
Yes, my darling, I know.
Oh, you are the most infuriating of women. Will nothing provoke you? Can I not even make you jealous?
I love you. I cannot fathom feeling any petty emotion like jealousy when it comes to you. I cannot fathom.
Oh, Alicia, my love.
Come, before we are missed.
My heart is in your hands.
Come, you mustn't be seen like this.
Oh.
Now, you were saying you had determined the identity of the guilty party.
What?
The thief.
Oh, honestly, Hilary, how can you witness such a touching scene and not be affected?
Who says I'm not affected?
Well.
I mean to say I'm just as tender and romantic as the next fellow.
And I need to rejoin the others, my romantic and tender fellow.
Not before you share the name of the guilty party.
I prefer to wait until I have proof.
But I'm your boss.
I prefer to think of us as partners.
But we're hardly... Well, if we were partners, you'd have let me join in with you in this investigation. It's not too late. I could arrive and be your older brother.
Smell the roses.
Changing the subject will not... The flowers are beautiful, but not as... Oh, nothing.
Well then, I must run.
Yes. Now do take care. Be careful. Don't put yourself in harm's way. Oh, dash it all. Why couldn't I just say, but not as beautiful as you?
The fabric of this bedspread is most luxurious.
Bedspread? What an odd word. As if the bed were covered with a preserve one had to spread all over it.
Oh, that's right. I believe it's called counterpane over here.
Alicia thought you should have this room because of its violet colour.
I'm in the rose room and Caroline the peach.
My room is all in creams and whites, and it's right next door.
It's a comfort to know you're all so close at hand.
Our 4 rooms make up this wing, so we may be quite as lively as we like. Violet, do you think you could stand to be an honorary inseparable for the weekend?
It would be my pleasure. And this balcony runs the length of the wing?
We used to drop things off it and frighten the servants when we were young.
Scandalous.
Do you... I say, I wonder if you should leave your lovely pendant so close to the open window.
Oh, I don't think it'll blow away in the wind. But here, I'll put it in its box, just to be on the safe side. And besides, it's just we four sharing this balcony, and my heirloom could not be safer.
Still, things do seem to disappear when we get together.
I wonder, though, who else is nearby when these thefts occur? Sir Rupert? Captain Halliday? Perhaps the parent of a rival of yours?
Rival?
Captain Halliday's beyond reproach.
Perhaps someone who didn't make it into the Inseparables?
Well, my sister Rowena is very jealous of all of us.
How old is she?
7.
Jane, I don't think a girl of 7 could have pulled off all these thefts.
Who said she could?
Yes, well, I believe it's off to bed for me.
Jane?
Yes?
Ready for bed? Are you coming?
I have to thank you all for making me so welcome. I'm beginning to think that London really might become a home for me.
Sweet dreams.
If dreams they be. We'll see if I still have a necklace in the morning. As I feared. I don't have a necklace anymore. Help! Help! My necklace is gone!
It's a delicate matter, as you know, Miss Strange. From the position of your room, it would seem that no one other than the young ladies could have access.
I'm afraid I disagree.
You do?
Yes. You see those vines? See how they grow so tightly up the corner of the house?
Yes, but I doubt they could support the weight of... I say, Miss Strange, you can't possibly climb... Stop this at once! Miss Strange, you're putting yourself in danger!
Why, there's hardly any given these vines at all. I reckon they could support twice my weight.
No! Are you intact? Whatever possessed you?
May I be so bold as to ask you a question that, on the surface, may seem to be none of my business?
Can I stop you?
Are you aware there is a young lady here who has fallen in love with you?
I'm a gentleman, Miss Strange. How would you have me answer such an inquiry?
Honestly.
I can only tell you that I've fallen in love with a young lady.
Just one young lady? Hillary, is that you?
Violet?
I don't have much time. I'll be bringing this case to a conclusion this afternoon at tea. Might you be able to come and fetch me after?
After? No, I want to be there for the crucial moment.
That's quite unnecessary. Oh, but if you must, well, I suppose I could tell everyone you're my cousin. No, Cousin Hillary and I only met recently.
I pestered Father to take us to America, but he wasn't keen on visiting the provinces.
We're no longer your province, cousin.
Thank heaven for that.
Must you be so insufferable?
You bring out the worst in me.
I say, Hillary, do you care for stamps?
Stamps, sir?
I just acquired an 1840 intense black. Come with me. I am not happy, Hilary. Not happy at all.
But Miss Strange tells me she's making excellent progress.
Huh. Your person has herself become victim to our thief. Did she tell you that?
Well, no. But she did say that she's found the thief and would be announcing his identity today.
Huh. We shall see.
You have to admire the way Captain Halliday rides. Does he ever take a companion?
He'd only turn it into a race, Caroline.
Never mind him. Tell us more about Hilary.
Yes. Lucky you, Violet. Such a charming cousin.
Charming? Well, I don't know that I'd go that far.
Is he involved?
You and he are...
Oh, heavens, no. He's not my type at all.
Oh, Captain Halliday.
Who isn't whose type?
Violet and Mr. Smythe.
Ah, I met him earlier. Decent fellow. Seems quite keen on you, Miss Strange.
I assure you he's my cousin, nothing more.
How was your horse ride, Captain?
Invigorating. All that's missing was an attractive companion.
Captain Halliday, glad to have you with us. It's been a trying day. What were the events of last evening?
You look so tired, Father. Do have some tea.
I believe I may relieve a bit of your burden by telling you I have discovered the identity of our thief.
I'm so sorry. Your lovely china. Oh, I was just reaching for a cake and I wasn't too careful, was I?
It's nothing, my dear. Don't even concern yourself.
Here, let me pour you another cup.
Ever the gentleman, aren't we, Captain Halliday?
Miss Strange? Have I done something to offend you?
Me? I'd say you've offended the Inseparables far more than you've offended me. Though I would like my necklace returned.
What? You're accusing Captain Halliday?
Violet Strange, you cannot be serious.
But he's so handsome.
Oh, I am serious, and I do accuse him. Does the handsome captain have nothing to say? If you even are a captain.
Violet, are you sure?
This is ridiculous. I've known the captain for...
Stop. This has gone far enough. The captain is not the thief.
And how do you know that, Alicia?
Because I am the thief.
Oh, no, Alicia. Oh, no.
That is utter nonsense. She's merely trying to protect me, and I won't have it. I accept responsibility for all the thievery. I will make full restitution.
You will not. I will not have your name tarnished.
But you would tarnish your own.
If I'm guilty, I deserve it, and I will.
Please don't. I can't. I thought I could, but you love him so. You would like to protect him as he would for you. I wish. Oh, Alicia, I'm so sorry. I'm the thief. I stole everything.
Alicia and Jane immediately went to her side to comfort her. Not another word was spoken for some time. Later, Sir Rupert was quite angry that Violet had got it wrong, as he said, when she accused Captain Halliday. But it was his own daughter who made him see the strategy. Violet had no actual proof, so she had to make Caroline admit her guilt. She knew Caroline coveted Captain Halliday, but she also knew Caroline was Alicia's friend. Violet counted on the bond of the Inseparables winning out in the end, and she was right.
Isn't it odd?
Which part?
Well, Sir Rupert, of course.
You'll have to be more specific.
Well, that he wanted Alicia to break with Caroline over this.
I don't think it odd. I think it quite logical. Why ever would you continue a friendship with someone who'd tried to betray you?
But Caroline was in love, don't you see?
I don't see that as a valid defence.
Oh, really? Our courts accept the defence of a crime of passion in a murder case. Is this that different? Isn't the fact that her friends rallied around her proof of the bond of the Inseparables? Isn't it when we're very far down that we discover who our friends really are?
We rode on in silence for quite some time. She made me think. After all, what might a man do out of passion? What might I do if... Well, time would tell, wouldn't it? All I could think of as we travelled through the night is that I could not wait for the next case I would undertake with the intriguing Violet Strange. You have been listening to the Casebook of Violet Strange by Diane Lake, freely adapted from the short stories of Anna Catherine Green. This week's episode, The Inseparables, featured Catherine Mangold as Violet Strange, Geraint Darcy as Hilary Smythe, Stephen Lacey as Sir Rupert Driscoll, Hannah Thompson as Alicia Driscoll, Robert Booth as Captain Halliday, Catherine Morgan as Caroline West, and Katie Trevethan as Jane Benedict. The sound effects were devised by Robert Dean and performed by Claire Honeybun, James Beaumont, Rhys Griffiths and Stacey Hornton. The music was composed by Ben Chalice and performed by Patrick Buckley, Joel Deere, Philippa Richards and Amy Evans. The Casebook of Violet Strange was produced by Mary Traynor and directed by Richard Hand. This has been a Cardiff School of Creative and Cultural Industries production with assistance from Dan Turner, Yolo Jones and Chris Pascos.